Ever wonder how some financial services and fintech leaders learned about money when they were kids? Well, we've asked them 4 important questions to get their answers, and you definitely want to hear them. Join me today as we hear from Kellan Brown, COO and CDO at 100 Women in Finance. Hey everyone, Mac Gardner here, author of Motivate Your Money and global best-selling children's book, The 4 Money Bears. I am joined today by the one, the only, Kellan Brown, COO and Chief Development Officer at 100 Women in Finance. Kellan, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Mac. It's so good to see you.
Now, Kellan, for folks who do not know who you are and your mission and all the amazing things that you do for our industry, take a few minutes to share, please.
Sure. So my name is Kellan Brown, and yes, COO, CDO of 100 Women in Finance. And what we do is help empower women to advance their career in finance. So a little bit of background on our purpose. We have 36,000 members across the globe in 33 locations. And we started in 2001 with the intention of bringing 100 women together. And now we're seeing this as a global initiative of where our pillars lie in education, peer engagement, and impact. So that's making sure that we provide all of those tools to our members, and then also to make sure we have a community foundation and an opportunity for the next generation to come into this space. So I always say, Mac, that I've been given the opportunity now to live my personal mission in my professional life.
That's awesome. And Kellan, you have been a person that's been instrumental in the financial service industry. You've helped people in so many different levels. I'm just extremely happy for the role you have now and the fact that you can live this mission professionally. So today we're talking about financial education. We are going to be launching the 4 Money Bears Berryville. It's going to be first of its kind financial education game. Young people and older people. My development team likes to say, Mac, it's not just for kids. Yeah, adults can play it too. Parents can play it with their kids. We're going to be providing a game that allows folks to learn about money a little bit differently. You got to learn about entrepreneurship on one side. You also got to learn about money management, what to do with the money once you have it, and how to manage it. And so today we're asking industry leaders about their experiences when it came to money. So we've got 4 powerful questions. Kellan, are you ready for question number 1?
I am, yes.
All right, question number 1. To your knowledge, as you think back on your experiences as a young person, what was your earliest memory of money education?
Have you ever seen The Money Pit with Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good movie. Classic.
It's a classic. You know, when the whole purpose of this is that they buy this house and it's their dream home and it's a complete dump, and their whole goal is to actually bring it back to life, rehab it, all the things. Well, there's this moment in the film where the tub falls through 3 levels of the house to the ground, and Tom Hanks laughs his unbelievably hysterical laugh through it. And that moment has stayed with my family for decades. So I'll go back to when my younger brother had a heart transplant and 2 kidney transplants. And for those of the listeners that are tuning in here, those surgeries were elective surgeries. So my family was regularly put into an environment of where all of that effort and savings was put towards my brother, Craig. And there was one moment when he was literally at Boston Children's Hospital and things were not going well. We were actually brought in to say goodbye to him. He was 6 years old. I was 8.5 at the time.
Wow.
And my dad had bought this old boat that he would take us out on just to develop that love and relationships, and it sunk. So he got a call from the boatmaster saying, Mark, your boat sunk, while he's sitting in Boston Children's Hospital about to lose his son, which, by the way, did not happen. Thank goodness. The doctors came through. But we just all looked at each other in that moment and kind of started laughing, because it was just like, this is the money pit moment of, like, we don't care if the house is on fire. All we care about is Craig. So for so long, we've related money to making sure we survive. And that's really what those first memories are. So it's been actually more about survival and health than the day-to-day life.
Yeah, I in doing these interviews, what's amazing are the visceral memories when I ask people that question. that pop up, and it stays with you. It shapes your relationship with money. It shapes how you engage money. It shapes the value system
Yes.
that money plays in your life from those really critical, pivotal memories. So that's fascinating. That actually leads me into question number 2, Kellan, is you talked a little bit, and that's an amazing story about your family's dynamic. But what did money actually represent in your home when you were growing up?
Yeah. This is a tough one. So I was very fortunate to grow up in a very affluent space. So I grew up in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh,
You know, people always look at it and they're like, "Oh wow, so there was a lot of wealth around you all the
yeah.
time." Well, yeah, there's a lot of wealth around you, but guess what? It's also how you're defined. It's not your personality. It's
Yeah.
not where you went to. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's the value system of, well, let me ask. Everyone says when you're in New York, especially New York City, they say, "What do you do?" As opposed to how you are.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right? Like, so it was basically reading off your resume of what you've achieved. And then I'm going to associate the amount of money that comes out of that with what you do. I have to say, my parents did such a beautiful job of instilling in us that it is not money that defines who we are. But when you're living in that environment, it's really hard to remove yourself from it.
Yeah,
So
kind
for
of, kind of.
so
Yeah.
for so long, there's this idea of I have to be making X number of dollars to be valuable to the community or to be valuable to my family or to mean that I actually mean something. And that's an unfortunate way to grow up. So there was always a little bit of a chip on my shoulder in that sense. And now that I've moved into holding nonprofit as my
Yeah.
professional career instead of volunteer efforts through MAC, we've sat on a number of boards together.
Yeah.
Feeling like you're giving back. I feel so much more fulfilled now than I think at my highest paying moments in life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so important.
We have conversations with people and we talk about this growth mindset versus abundance mindset, and part of that plays a role in what we do with our money and how we view things and habits. But I think something that you continually say, Kellan, which I find very captivating, is value system. The value system, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a good value system, it's really not going to do much for you.
What does it mean then, right?
Yeah.
Mo Gawdak, and I hope I'm saying his name correctly, wrote a phenomenal book on this. And he opens this story about his life, how he lost his son. And that's no surprise. And it's called Solve for Money. If anyone reads this book, you will be blown away and crying within the first chapter. But he had made his life. He had the cars, he had the house, he had the family. And then all of a sudden, due to medical mishap, his son passes away. And all of it just lost. So his whole goal was to figure out, how can I be happy in this situation? And what came out of that, it's not about money.
Yeah.
It's never
It's
going to be
not.
about money.
And it's not. And if you keep
It's
chasing
all
that,
about
you will
values.
continue to keep chasing. That whole value system, Kellan, really, I think, ties into our third question.
Yeah.
We're both parents.
Yes.
And so we are continually looking for ways to try to impart knowledge, impart the value system, and all the different things. So how do you think we should teach young people about money?
Okay, so what you're doing is phenomenal. I'm going to start there. The Four Money Bears, the book is where we met. It really was. It was, Kellan, I want you to share this with your kids. This is really special. And now the fact that you've created the game, this is how people are now getting involved. I mean, whether it's the mindset of a game outside of technology, or in this case, technology being a part of it, it is so important for us as parents to do the work at home. To be able to actually teach them what every dollar means, how to invest it, what does compound mean. All of that is so valuable to be able to instill at home. Now, I will tell you, I think a lot of people don't know how to do it from a parent to a child. I think that is the hardest part.
That's the biggest
So
part.
building out these games so that they learn that with them, so that they can understand the value, and things are changing so quickly. So in our household right now, I have a 5 and an 8-year-old, as you know. A lot of our value system is around selling avocados. Okay. So we have avocado trees that come from my in-laws and they dump off a bunch and can't eat them all. And my kids are like, let's go sell them to the
You gotta do
neighbors,
some of them. Yep.
you know? And so like we create games around that that makes them understand the value of it. And then what do they do with the money? How do they invest it? So green light's a great example. And I know that you've had conversations with them as
Yeah.
well.
Great,
And
great
that's more
organization.
for like middle school and high school, but when they're seeing about what happens to their money when they actually invest it, they can touch it, they can feel it. Technology
Yeah.
is a part of that.
Yep.
That has been like the greatest growth factor we've seen because we were taught how to write checks,
Yeah,
right?
that's our generation.
That's our generation.
Make sure you
And
sign it and date it and put the
yes,
memo.
yeah, this is not theirs. And
No.
so I'm excited to see technology play a key role in it and to be freely speaking about it. You know, there's this conversation, and gosh, my parents were so much in this. There was this just ugly representation of if you spoke about money, it was unattractive.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it was
If it was even
rude.
discussed.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't discussed. And even my mom to this day says she still feels so uncomfortable when money comes up in the conversation where I speak about it so freely that I want to embrace that. I want people to be comfortable with that, understanding what people make so that they are on an even tier of when
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
to that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything you said just resonates with what we're doing as a group, as a team to develop the For Money Bears Berryville. Gamification, I think, is important. I think we have to meet young people where they are.
Yes.
But one of the things that I'm really, really keen to see, and you mentioned it, is the collaboration of the connection between the parent and the child in these knowledge and growth experiences. Like for me, whenever I hear "I love you," whenever that Barney song comes on,
Oh,
it hits me because I remember watching this stuff with my kiddos, and it's just a part of our collaborative, collective experience, and that's what we're wanting this game to be. Is for something where that parent that probably never got it said that got that financial education to say, "Oh wow, I'm learning something, but I'm learning it new, and I'm glad my child's getting it." That's what we want the game to be. Is that thing that bridges two
yes.
generations and makes the whole thing
And
collaborative. So
Mac, you're the expert in this space, so I would love to know is are you actually seeing a shift in the, let's say, elementary space or middle school space where they're actually talking about finances at all?
yeah, it depends by state. So
Okay.
the state of Texas is one that's really taking the bull by the horns by starting this stuff earlier.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of states that are working to get it into schools by the high school level.
Mm.
Florida started it about 2 years ago. I think we're up to like 29 or 30 states. But the problem, Kellen, is that studies show that the connectivity with money starts by age 7.
Yeah.
So if you're not making these introductions and putting these concepts into young people's heads, if you're waiting till they're 17, 18 when they're seniors in high school, there's 10 years of misinformation or no information, which is why we believe starting at that K through 5 spot is very, very important, and why we're working to build a game that really resonates with young people and makes them, hey, I'm having fun playing this game, but it's like broccoli. You throw some cheese on it, little this broccoli's delicious. This education is delicious.
Well,
That's
it's
it. That's what we're trying to
also,
do.
we don't have enough of what you're doing. So when
Yeah.
Berryville takes off,
Yeah.
the ability to share that, replicate, reuse, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what's amazing about gamification, right? Or
That's what
gamification.
and make having fun and not realizing that you're learning. So, which ties us into question number 4. We both play in this financial services space. We both work to get more people into it, make more people aware of how great it can be. So, what's been your best advice, Kellan, when it comes to money?
I think it goes back to, I'm going to tie into the last question, is making sure that you educate your children early on how it can impact your future. And I think that's a really important thing because it starts with us and we have to be the examples of that. At a higher level, my work is all about making sure we bring women into financial services and stay in financial services. I would really love for all of us in the industry to pay attention to what that means when women get into that mid-career space, right? How can we still foster families to be able to move through this industry effectively, give people that equal opportunity to be successful, still have families, still teach our children about how important finances is, and honor that. So there's no way I could go without throwing that in there, because it is really, really hard to have
Yeah.
families where you have two working parents. And I want women to show up strong in this industry.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. Well, Kellan, you have been an amazing guest today. Thank you again for all the great work that you do and will continue to do for our industry. And as I like to say, the journey continues.
Thanks, Mac.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you'll join us for our next engaging episode. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and visit www.the4moneybears.com.